Good morning. I hope you can hear me clearly. Thank you very much, Umar, for the opportunity to be here. My name is Elisha, but you can also call me Kenny. So, basically, the co-founder of Exavon. Beyond Exavon, I did my university in ABU Zaria. I finished in 2017, and then I've worked with multiple organizations in multiple countries. And I currently live in Berlin, in Germany, where I work with a company called Terra Talent. So this is just a brief about me. I would like us to have a quick check-in, like an icebreaker, before I go deep into the section, so that we can make this a bit interactive. I would like to know what has been your biggest challenge so far with landing a remote job. You can feel free to unmute your microphone. If you want to talk, you can feel free. What has been your biggest challenge? You can also use the chat box if you don't feel comfortable to talk on the audio. Come on, guys, let's make this interactive. Okay, the biggest challenge is applying for the jobs. Okay, thank you, Alex. Nice to meet you. We have like 10 people on this call. Hi, Samuel. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, my challenge is I don't even know the real URL because I'm a developer. I don't know the real link where you can apply. Maybe
Where
somebody
to
is
find the
phishing
jobs?
you.
Okay,
I guess someone might be phishing and you don't even know the exact URL where you can apply to that is sure.
mhm.
That's something because I
Okay,
know a lot of people just create URL and start phishing and start getting people's
okay.
details. That's my
Thank you for
challenge.
sharing. Yeah, so
Good
basically,
morning.
where to find the jobs? Yes, good morning. You can go next.
Okay, I'm Daily. I'm a full
Right,
stack developer.
nice.
And for me, my biggest challenge has been knowing how qualified I should be or what exact skills I should focus on and how to prepare for the interviews.
Okay, nice. Thank you for sharing. Somebody said finding the platforms, same as Samuel, where to find the jobs. Somebody said being in Nigeria, and I think I can relate because I know there are some platforms because you're from Nigeria, you might not be able to even access applying those jobs. It might say location is not supported. So I think I can relate with that. All right, thank you for your sharing. I'll go to the next question. Um, how many of you have seen this car before? And when you see this car, what comes to your mind? Yes, Samuel.
This looks like the new tech car, the Google Drive or something, right?
Okay, we'll see about that, Alex.
It's Waymo. It's a self-driving car.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
Yeah,
self.
taxi driving car.
Yeah, I was recently in the United States and I tried this car and I posted the video on TikTok and it went viral. So it's a self-driving car. But I'm curious, which city in the US has this car? Who wants to try?
It's B.
Somebody said San Francisco. Yeah, absolutely right. You can only find this car in one place in the world, in the whole world. It's only in San Francisco that you can find this car. Not in Vegas, not in New York, not in LA, only in San Francisco. It was a very nice experience. I had a great time enjoying this self-driving car. It shows how fast the world is growing and how fast the world is changing. So I'll just share a bit of my story because I always like to share my story because I feel like our stories are power, and I also want people to relate with my story, and so that you can have the mindset that you can become anything you want to become. You can really, really go out there and achieve your dreams. And the whole idea is also to position you so that you can have that skills, that talent, everything you have to land a remote job. And in this section, I also bring two of my alumni from our program who has also landed remote jobs this year. But let me just go straight to my story. So I was born in a very small state in the north, but I'm from the west, southwest. I'm from Osun State, but I was born in a very small state. Not, I think it's like 5 to 6 hours from Niger State because I've been to Minna before. So I was born in Sokoto State, but I studied in ABU Zaria. So when I was in ABU Zaria, I joined an organization in 2016 called ISEC. So then I was in my 400 level, preparing for my 500 level. And I wanted to do something outside the box, not just being in the classroom. So ISEC is like an international youth organization where we do like a lot of traveling and exchange programs. And then in 2017, in my final year, I was part of the executive board for ISEC in Zaria. Here in this picture, we're like young people who took leadership roles. And these people in this picture are in different part of the world. So some of them are now big politicians, one in Benue and one in Kaduna State, and some of us are in Europe and the United States. So this is in 2017. But I studied agriculture. That's my academic background. But during ISEC, I was able to unleash my potential and I learned so many things. And then in 2018, I traveled to Port Novo for what we call an exchange program. So after my university, I wanted to do something extraordinary. So I decided to use my own money to travel abroad to volunteer because I wanted to add an extra value to my CV, something that will give me international experience. So I decided to go to volunteer abroad. And then I got back to Nigeria and then I moved to Cote d'Ivoire in 2019. So yeah, I was elected as the country director for ISEC in Cote d'Ivoire, where I was in charge of, we call it incoming exchange program. So I support people who wants to come and work or do internship in Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire. I gave them those opportunities. And in 1 year, I helped over 200 people from different parts of the world, more than 40 countries land internships in this country. It was a very great experience before the lockdown happened. And I was only international on this team. The rest were all Ivorians. So then after that, I couldn't travel abroad because of the lockdown. I got elected as the country director for ISEC in Jordan. So this was my first remote job. We were six of us from six different countries working fully remote, and we had people from, the other girls from Brazil, somebody was from India, from Tunisia. It was a crazy experience, but I learned so much working with people from different cultures. I didn't know that all this experience will help me in my future career. Then I got a job in Tanzania, so I left volunteering and I started my first job in Tanzania. So yeah, I was working with an international organization, at the same time a consultant for a private firm in Tanzania. So yeah, I was more like a human resource advisor and also supporting entrepreneurship programs in Tanzania as a country. That was a very super exciting experience. And the truth is, because I was able to sharpen all my skills volunteering, that was what really helped me to get this job. This was the highest paying job I've done in my life up to today. And this was like 5 years ago. So after that role, I moved to Uganda. This is a picture of my team in Uganda, where I worked for 2 years. It's like a German organization, but more like social enterprise. And then I worked there for 2 years. I designed a lot of entrepreneurship program for the whole of East Africa, from Kenya, Rwanda. I went as far as South Sudan. And during that time, I joined this company called Skillio, where I was working as a career coach. They're based in Singapore. It was fully remote. And we had a career accelerator where we help people land remote jobs with companies in Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, So I was actively involved, and I was the only international on the team, which I found as a privilege. And I moved to Germany, working now with Terra Talent. I did my master's in Germany. I have completed my master's, so I work now in Germany with Terra Talent, more as a talent and project manager. So this is just a brief about my story, from having a background in agriculture to working in multiple countries. And I feel like there's so much people can learn from me, and I want to empower more people. And that is why I started Exavon this year. I launched Exavon in February, which is like a career accelerator. But the goal is to make it the first and the biggest accelerator in Africa that will help people build their dreams. I've worked remote and I enjoy the benefits of working remote when I was in Africa. And that is why I was able to afford my own money to study abroad. I didn't depend on anybody, but because I worked in Africa, I saved enough money that helped me to go abroad to build my dreams in Europe now. So you don't need to leave your country, to be honest, to become global. You only need the courage to start from somewhere. So to think about your life in the next 3 years, some of you are students, some of you might be your final year. You need to have a picture of what you want to do and start building slowly from now. When I launched Exavon, I had a dream. My dream was everybody who has talent needs to get job. And I feel bad because there are Africans. I've helped so many people have jobs, by the way, abroad, even before I launched Exavon. That's why I felt like there's a need to, build something to make it more official. So it's like a career accelerator that help African professionals to be job ready first for international remote opportunities. To be honest, many people I helped get jobs in the last 2, 3 years. Some of them got fired even after 1 or 2 weeks or 1 month because they were not really ready for these opportunities. And this is what I try to bridge the gap. And so some of them who are now working full time started as interns, and now they work full time, earning even 3 times more than what they were earning as interns. So I look for people who are into IT, whether design, marketing, AI. So these are the kind of people that we look for to join the program. Why does it feel like it's important to be global ready? Growing up from Sokoto State and in ABU Zaria, like I was hungry for growth. And I've always been passionate about not being a local channel, but I want to explore the world. But beyond that, as you can see, companies value people that have international experience. I've worked for the United Nations and other international organizations. And the only reason I got my first job was because I had international experience. So this is something you might want to consider, that you need to be global ready because it can open the door. Secondly, according to a LinkedIn report, communication across cultures is listed among the top 5 soft skills employers are looking for. I remember when I was working with the when I worked with the HR department, and they always look for people that has profile that have worked in other countries. Why? Because cross-cultural understanding is very, very important. Yes, this is super, super important. So that is why being global is super important and you need to be ready. 85% of the jobs that exist in 2030 has not been invented yet. Today we have a self-driving car. Tomorrow there might be a crazy innovation. So the future of work needs to be adaptable, globally minded, and ready for emerging industries. When I was in the US, I was there for like 2 months with my own money, self-sponsored. People think I'm crazy, but no, it's an investment, right? I'm going to learn from the giants and also see what's happening in the world. So now, why remote hiring is challenging, I've seen there is always a problem of cultural mismatch. There are many countries with different kind of style of working. So this is one of the problems with remote hiring. Poor communication is one of the biggest red flags. And many candidates are not prepared. I'll be honest with you guys. People, you might be the best the developer, but you might not be prepared. Yes, so this is a problem we have at the moment. Also, people don't have a picture of their career direction. Finding your right career or right internship or your career goals, you might need to understand three important things. What do you think are those your natural talents and your strengths? You might want to think what industry excites you the most. I want to see yourself 5 years from now. What do you see yourself doing? I had a call with a client in the US. They're looking for a virtual assistant, but they want somebody who has industry experience in marketing agencies. So you might need to be able to have this clarity about your talent, what industry do you want to focus on, and where do you see yourself after graduation. So this clarity is very, very important and can lay a foundation for you in finding a remote job. There's something they call ikigai. Is a Japanese concept. It's very, very detailed, but I'll just give an overview in the coming slides. But it's something you can also read about, and I think it's gonna really, really help you if you're that person on this call who is still trying to figure it out in terms of finding or balancing your career journey. Now, it's called reason for being. So that is the translation. Your reason for being. Why are you living? Why do you do what you're doing? And it comes with four components. Number one, what exactly do you love? I know there is a crazy trend about AI, but do you know not everybody has to be an AI engineer? But that is the reality. So somebody might just want to play football and be happy. So my point is understand your passion, understand your interests, then think about your skills and your talents. Passion is not enough, so you must understand what are those skills, those things you can do easily. So somebody might just want to be a designer, right? A video editor. Not everybody has to be a developer. I'm telling the truth. Then think about what does the world really needs at the moment in terms of the problem you feel like you can solve. There is so much problems in the world today, and at the same time there is so much opportunities. During my trip in the US, I discovered that I got a lot of ideas, like crazy, crazy ideas, to be honest. So you might want to think about this, what does the world needs, and think about the value you can offer to solve these problems. Then finally, what can you be paid for? This talks about your marketable skills. So if you want to even talk about remote jobs, even when you're doing interviews with these companies, this four component is very, very important. So I want to challenge you all. If you're not there yet, it's time to find your ikigai because this can set a very strong foundation to kickstart your international journey. Secondly, it's about asking yourself these questions. It's more like a reflective question. You don't need to answer me, but just think about this. Does this path you are taking now, does it really align with your passion or interests? When I was in Nigeria, I turned down job offers. I will not lie because my focus was I want to work abroad. I want to work abroad. I want to work abroad. My passion. I want to travel the world. So all other things was not important to me at that time in my life. I felt like I was still young. I'm not really in a hurry to make money, but let me just go abroad. That was before the lockdown. Back then, there was nothing like remote jobs. That was in 2017. So that was like 9 years ago. So you need to ask yourself, does your current path align with what you love? Does it align with your interests? You might want to ask yourself these questions. Does this path you are now, does it leverage your strength, your talent? So you might want to think about this. Am I really leveraging my talent? Am I really leveraging my career interests? I see many people get confused. Do I do data analysis? Do I do AI? Do I do software? So you need to understand that you have your abilities and focus on that direction. Then, is there a viable market beyond talent, beyond passion? Make sure what you have or what you are building is relevant to what the world needs today. So think about this. Is there a viable market for my skills, for my knowledge? right? The world is changing very, very fast. And so also one of the things I do in my program is what I call skill gap analysis. There are some softwares that US companies want people to know how to use, but it might not be famous in, for example, in Nigeria. So you might need to upskill yourself to get to that point. So this is something you might also want to think about on the long run. Everything you are doing should be relevant to the future of work, should be relevant to what people will pay for. So you might want to think about this and try to upskill yourself. So I always recommend people to be self-aware, and that is why I will should. You can take a screenshot of this, but it's also good the call is being recorded. So these are some tests you can do that will help you to be more self-aware to discover your strengths. One of the guys who recently got a role with a client in the US, so it was very competitive, and the company had to use a test like this to choose who they feel like fits in their work culture. And that's how the guy got interviewed. And sometimes companies do this because there's a lot of competition. So it's good to be self-aware to know yourself, and that will also help you also in finding the right job. Yeah, you wouldn't want to apply for a wrong job that you feel like doesn't suit your style or your kind of values or your personality. So this is why you need to take any of these tests and then try to see and find your ikigai. And this will also help you in building a foundation for finding the right remote job. So you don't just apply in quantity, but more about quality and values. This is just to give you an overview. Some of the core skills that many companies are looking for in candidates when it comes to soft skills. I always tell people to be analytical in thinking. This is super important. You have to apply analytical thinking or critical thinking when even using AI. It's not about knowing AI, but can you really know how to think through AI? Are you flexible? Are you resilient? Are you adaptable? Leadership, motivation, empathy. So these are some of the core skills. AI is growing very, very rapidly. There are so many AI tools, but do you really know how to use? That is the point, right? You need to be tech savvy, like tech savvy is super, super important. Then you talk about creative thinking, resilience. There's a young girl, she'll share a story on this call at very young, 21 years old. She was working with one of our clients in the US, and she was like, at the first week, she was always crying, she's complaining, but now she has adapted. So these are relevant skills that company wants people to have that mindset to adapt. So some of the tips I can also share that can help you to find that your dream remote job or find that dream company is very possible, guys. It is very, very possible. You can be in Minna and access these opportunities. It's 100 possible, regardless of your location. It is. I was born in Sokoto State, so I schooled in Zaria. So I will tell you, it is very, very possible. One thing you can do is try to streamline in details the industries that are in demand that you want to explore and what are those. Then try to create a list of a target companies based on the skills that they want, keyword skills, the growth, what are those alignment that you need to also position yourself. I think somebody in this call talk about positioning, yeah. So these are super, super important things that you need to put at the back of your mind. So this is something that can really, really help you. When I was going into the career world, I had a clear direction that I would like to work for startups or international organizations. It has to be very international. And because I had that vision, I had that picture, and trust me, it's happened. So you too can try to do the same, and this will help you. So secondly, there's a lot of platforms. I know sometimes because of your location in Nigeria, you might not have that advantage to access these platforms, which is very, very sad. Yeah, it's painful because I've lived sometimes when I travel to an African country, you want to access some of these job boards, you cannot because of where you are. But you can explore platforms like LinkedIn, there is Glassdoor, there is a career builder. There are so many of them. There's Handshake. You can just try to. There's also this one that I feel like it's very open to people in Africa. It's called Hiring Cafe. Sorry, I didn't write it, but I can type it in the chat box. Hiring a cafe is one of the biggest now that I can recommend that you can easily find remote jobs. And you can also check career related events on LinkedIn and try to join. My first paying remote job was an online event like this. I won't lie to you guys. So go for those kind of spaces because you never know who you will meet or who you will find. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about networking. You need to network with industry professionals, like go for career events, expand your network, reach out also to companies, HR departments. I got a job just by reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn. I'm telling you the truth. So one of the things I learned recently is sometimes you need to know that the quality of people you have in your life can determine the opportunities you will ever access. And that is why sometimes I spend a lot of money traveling, not because I love to travel alone, but I want to build relevant relationships, build relevant connections, not money, but people. So being in spaces like this, to be honest, I landed a remote job with a company in Singapore. Talking to somebody on LinkedIn, I got opportunities that if I start sharing the stories, we won't finish this call today. So reach out to people, talk to them directly, sell yourself, try to offer them a problem you want to solve. I had a friend who did something like reaching out to a company and created a job for herself in that company. So it is very, very possible. That is why in the last point I said be proactive. Don't wait, be proactive. Sell yourself, be active, be visible, and most importantly, be valuable. So this is also talking about networking. Every connection is a seed. You never know which of them will bloom into that job offer or that life-changing introduction. So you have to nurture relationships. Nurture relationships. Don't put money first, but build relationship because you never know how much door it will open for you. So I also talk about going for events. I travel a lot for events, but beyond events, you can also do virtual events. As a student in ABU in Zaria, I did a program with a school in New Zealand where I got a recommendation and a certificate right from ABU in my room. So I didn't go to New Zealand, but there are opportunities out there. So you have to be active. You can go online, just check some of these competitions like GBs is in New Zealand. There's Hot Prize for those who are interested in entrepreneurship. There's Enactus, there's ISEC, for example. Now we have Exavon, we have UN and programs. Go for these events. Don't feel lazy, try to put yourself out there. So I would like to invite two people who has benefited from our program. I launched Exavon in February, the first cohort, and then my goal was for every single cohort there should be a success story. Yes, and I had fears, I had doubts. Can I really pull this? But it happened. So this was one of the first people who landed a job. She's a very young girl. I'm sure she's on this call. I will give her like 5 to 10 minutes to just quickly share a story. And then I'll also invite one more person. Mary Ann, are you on the call?
Yeah, I am.
Hi, Mary Ann. Can we see you? Is it possible?
Can you see me?
Oh, yes, we can see you. Do you want
Okay,
to introduce yourself quickly to the people on the call?
okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Mary Ann Opatola. I graduated from Ahmad Bello University last year, November, and I've been job hunting. Actually, not really job hunting, but I have been like adding into my skills just to like be a better person for the job market. So when I graduated, I learned different skills like digital marketing and got my certificate. I was learning UX design and all of that. But prior to that, I used to volunteer a lot in school, and I used to be very active on LinkedIn. And although I got like gigs and like jobs, little jobs here and there, I was looking for something like long term, something that like a position that I could work in a company and really add to the value of that company for a long time. But I didn't get that. I was just getting like little side gigs. So up until January this year, I got like a message from my sister that there's someone that is like offering to teach you how to land a job and connect you with hiring managers. And that's how I landed as a trainee under Exavon. So for after that, after registering and all of that, and considering, and I was considered to be a good fit for Exavon, we underwent like 4 weeks of training to, you know, sharpen our resume and our portfolio. That's when I had projects, but I've never really like joined all my projects to make a very good portfolio, and that was what Exavon really added to during the training and the mentorship. They made sure we organized our portfolio to be very attracting to hiring managers. So after 4 weeks of training and building our resume and our portfolio, then we got into the partners of Exavon, and this partner is called Skillo. Later you'll find out. Then this Kilo has like a job board where you are introduced to like numerous jobs as an intern that you can apply for, like they're a lot, they're unlimited. I keep applying. And although it took time for me to get into the skill partnership, after a few weeks I got into skill, and after like 4 applications, I got an interview. And after the interview, I became a social media content intern for this company in Singapore, and that's where I've been working for past 3 weeks. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Is there anybody? I wouldn't want to ask questions because it's about me now. But I'd like to give the floor for one person or two person to ask Mary Ann a question before I go to the second alumni who is on the call. You can feel free to raise your hand, or you can also type on the chat box. Muhammad, yeah, you can go.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Muhammad.
Okay, good morning. My question is like, how was she able to like polish her CV that land her this first job that she just got now? Like, can she share like how she was able to just combine all her projects that she was able to this this job of hers? Yeah, thank you. That was my question.
Yes, Mary Ann.
Okay, so when you get into Exavon training, you'll be taught all these things, but basically, you can use a lot of free tools out there. I combined all my projects and built a portfolio on Behance because it's free. There are other softwares out there, there are other apps, but some of them are not free. But Behance is free. Um, I built it. I combined my project on Framer into like a long on Figma. Sorry, I combined my project into a long frame on Figma and just imported it into Behance. So I used Behance to share. Behance was like the link I shared as my portfolio link to every job I applied to.
Yeah, And these are some of the things we explain and we try to teach in our program. So somebody asked, how do you get into the training? Yeah, I will talk about that after this, by the last part of the call. But let me take one more question because of time. I'll go to Chamaka and then you can also ask some questions to Chamaka. Marianne will also be on the call. You can also connect it to our LinkedIn. You want to add a LinkedIn, that's fine. Marianne. Alex, you can Google next.
Hi, Marianne. So you mentioned that you graduated last year November for maybe you. So I was wondering, you didn't think of service at all, just straight to the job market?
No, I'm not doing service. I did not do. Actually excluded myself because I don't have so much strength for service.
No service. Okay. Because
Yeah, I
that
think
that's
it was same for me. I delayed my service and went abroad. Marianne,
yeah,
she's even still working remote. During my time, there was no remote jobs. So I
yeah.
traveled
Mhm.
abroad. Then I came back to Nigeria. My parents begged me to do service. And after doing the service,
Parents,
I didn't even, after the service, I just traveled again. I came back later to get my certificate. Yeah,
exactly. Because parents they won't allow at all.
yeah.
Be like this for
It
the
was a
service.
shame.
And I was very much interested in having job opportunities here in Nigeria. And most of them always ask for NYC certificate, NYC
Yeah,
certificate.
they're boring. They're
Very
boring
boring.
people. Yeah. But I
So
would like to invite Chiamaka now. She's not
okay.
even, she's a high school graduate. And I think she's also very impressive person. I think you need to also hear from her. Anna, like, how old are you? I think you're 21 or 22.
21.
21. I think same with Chamaka. Chamaka, you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Can we see you?
Okay.
Hi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. So my name is Chiamaka and I am a Go High Level specialist. So my tech um, skills, I started training as at last year. That was during my 9 to 5 job. So it was really hectic for me, combining the training and other things I'm doing with my 9 to 5 job. But I was consistent enough. So I was able to finish my training, register for some internship. Like after the internship, I kept on applying to jobs and all of that. And there is this trend that virtual assistant is like the field is very saturated. So I was like, what else will I do since I've been applying for jobs and I'm not getting any positive response? Meanwhile, I'm still in that same 9 to 5 job, but I just wanted a side hustle to, you know, merge it together. So I had to upscale, like I had to upscale to automation, which is going further into go high level operations. And
Kai,
yeah,
kai, kai,
that's
kai. Au karya kujera fa.
okay, that has been for the past 3 months. So I kept upskilling and still showing up on LinkedIn, building my online presence, applying for jobs. But to be honest, it's not been easier. Like there is no, there's nothing I haven't tried. I haven't tried cold outreach, no responses at all at all. Like even some clients I do have a negotiation problem with, maybe you will just not conclude on a particular amount for a job. But then I kept on showing up. And then one day I came across Exavon job posts. Yeah, so when I came across the post, I reached out to them, submitted my application, and like I didn't even expect it to be that like as easy as it is, or should I say as fast as I got the job, because I didn't even undergo the training and mentorship program because it was like he will enroll me into the next cohort. But then everything happened so fast. The company was hiring immediately. But yeah, what stood out for me is the mock interview I had with Ezavon. Like it really stood out for me because it's helped me prepare myself, how I will show up and at least defend my skill set and still show up as someone who is willing to deliver measurable results to the company. So yeah, that's what really stood out for me. And also during the interview, I also did my part. And I had a good portfolio. Yeah, thanks to Azavon, he assessed me and you know give me the right guidance before the interview. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much, Chamaka. I think I understand your story. You didn't tell them you're a high school graduate. You're also 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 21. Yeah. At 21, I've never earned a single dollar in my life. So I'm jealous that you guys are earning good money at your age. But that's just a joke. Does anybody have
We're
a
in 20th
question,
century.
Abina? Does anyone has a question for Chamaka? Any question for Chamaka? Any question? You can also type on the chat box. Yes, Shagun David, you can ask. We can't
We
hear
can't
you.
hear you.
Good morning,
Good morning,
everyone.
everyone.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Yes,
my
my
question for
question for
Chiamaka is
Chiamaka is
because you
because you
mentioned
mentioned
attending
attending
seminars,
seminars,
talking to
talking
friends.
to
So,
friends. So
how
how
did you
did
get
you
to
get to
know about
know
this
about this
opportunity
opportunity
when
when
she got out
she
of the
got out
high
of the
school?
high school?
I didn't get your question. Please, can you repeat it?
Like, my
Like my
question is
question
the
is, the
instructor
doctor
made
made
mention of
mention of
you
you
network
network
yourself,
yourself,
you make
you
people
make
know what
people
you're
know what you're
doing,
doing,
you make
you make
valuable
valuable
friends,
friends,
like not
like not
considering the
considering
money
the money
first. So,
first.
how did
So
you
how
get
did
to
you
know
get to
about
know
this
about this
information
information
immediately when you
immediately
went
when you
out
went out
of the high
of the
school?
high school?
Not really after my high school that I met this job. I said I was like I got upskilled and I was also like building my presence online, like showing up on LinkedIn. It's even on LinkedIn that I came across the job post and then I applied. So that's it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you did.
Okay.
Okay, we'll
Okay,
take
we'll take
one last
one
question
last
from
question from
Alex,
Alex,
and then we can
and
move
then we
on.
can move on.
Hi,
Hi,
Chiamaka.
Jonathan.
Hi,
So,
Alex.
um,
So,
so how
so
long
how
was it
long
the
was
period
it
for you
for you
when you were
when you were
upskilling?
upskilling?
How long did
How
it
long
take?
did it take?
Like it took like should I say 8 to 9 months?
Hmm.
Ah, it's even like 8 to 9 months, yeah. Because I finished my virtual assistant training as at April last year. So as at that time, I'm still doing my working on my 9 to 5 job. But then I was like, let me see if I can get any part-time job that I can merge with my on-site role. But yeah, after some time, I wasn't getting any positive responses from the jobs I've been applying to. So I had to upskill. Like I started upskilling as at I think June, July. Yeah, June, July.
Last year.
Last
Even
year.
till yes, till this. Yeah,
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
you're welcome.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you very much, Chairman,
Chamaka
for
Amiri Ann.
Mary Ann.
You're welcome.
So I'll
So
just
I'll
move
just
on
move on
and we
and
have 8 minutes
grab
to
eight
finish the
minutes to
call.
finish the call.
So
So
while
why
I started
I started
Exavon,
Exavon,
I can hear
I
my
can
voice. I
hear
don't
my
know
voice. I
why.
don't know why.
Is it from my end? Okay, I think it's better now. Why I started Exavon was basically I feel like many people are talented in Nigeria, but they struggle to find opportunities like a Chamaka, like Mary Ann. And on the other part, I've lived abroad for a while and I've traveled a while. I saw some companies also struggle to find talent that they can trust and that they feel like they are ready to take these jobs. Like they will always say, talent is everywhere, but opportunities is not. So Exavon was meant to try to bridge this gap. So basically, like Mira and Ishamaka said, we run it like a career accelerator for 4 weeks, where we try to train you in a way to position you, which I think is very, very important. We do a lot of CV, portfolio, even LinkedIn revamp, because these are very important factors before they will even want to invite you for interview. So we try to do this. And most importantly, we do the mock interview like Tamaka mentioned, and then after that, we try to match you with employers in a network. So this is how the program runs. So we have companies in the United States, from the Asian and partners, our Skillia partner, they have employers from Australia, mostly also in Singapore and as well as Taiwan. But these are the Asian partners. But on the other end, we have our own pipeline with companies in the United States. So these are the three things. Like I said, the companies always evaluate your CV to evaluate your credibility, if they really trust you, your portfolio to see that you have that ability. Like, I think these people on this call, they have like amazing portfolio. Chamaka and Mary, and they have very good portfolio. They are good examples, and then LinkedIn to also discover you and build that trust, because it's really more job. It has to do with trust issues as well. So I think I talked about this before. We're looking for people who are students, and also if you're a student, you can do this program for sure. You can work remote for sure. Also, recent graduates, we're looking at early or even senior level professionals, yeah, and people who are also very serious about remote work. So it's not really for everybody, but if you feel you fall under this category, that you can explore this program. So we don't have a fixed salary because it depends on the client. For the people like Mary Ann, there's a fixed salary of 300 Singapore dollars. That is for people like Mary Ann. It's fixed. But from the client in the US, it's not fixed. It can be minimum of, for full-time entry level should be around 500, and a part-time can be around 240 or 250, depending on the client. Yeah. But people who are senior level, they end up to 1K and above. Then we take around 20% from the first 2 months as placement fees, only the first 2 months. Then right now we have open application for May cohort, and the deadline is 15th of May. Somebody was asking about the program. So for those who wants to join, not normally it's $50, like say Mary Ann paid $50, but because you are a student, so because of I have this platform to share about Exavon, so it's only $25. If you're interested, you can scan the QR code to you see the whole application form online. You fill in your CV, your information. Only if you're interested, yeah. So we have to also screen your profile after filling. If we feel that you have some potential, then we will send you information, and then we can onboard you into the program. So what you're paying for is the training, but most importantly, we match you directly with companies who will decide if they want to interview you and hire you. So this is how the program works. I will need people mostly in IT. Yeah, and at least we launched in February, and we've had like 6 people got jobs already, 3 international jobs and also 3 local jobs. And we have more currently undergoing interview at the moment. So you can scan the QR code for those who are interested only. Yeah. What is also important is we have a WhatsApp group. So you might not be interested now to join, but feel free to join our WhatsApp group. Yeah. So on this group, I always share like opportunities at least every week there's a new job. So if you want to see urgent hiring roles, they might need to be on this group. And also try to follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. You will see our updates. We're also planning to launch a podcast. Every month we also hold a podcast or like a webinar where we bring in employers from abroad, like the United States, and then you can feel free. Okay, you can't scan the code. It's okay. I will share the form on the chat box. Yeah, but you can also join the WhatsApp group. You can scan that. Yeah, so that you don't miss out on any updates. And for those who are interested in signing up for the program, I'll just send the QR code on the chat box now. So you can feel free to let us know in that regards if you wanna maybe ask questions on the WhatsApp group. You can also reach me on LinkedIn. Let me you can scan the WhatsApp. I think it's working. And if you can access the WhatsApp, you can also add us, follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. We'll also send you the WhatsApp through your president, Umar. I'll send the link for those ones to join, so you can join that directly. So yeah, that's my number. You can feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you have questions, this is the official email for inquiries. I live in Berlin and I have a co-founder in Lagos and one in Abidjan. My city is in Abidjan. Yeah. So we are already looking for people to join the Make cohort, so you can feel free to sign up for Make cohort. And if you have any challenge, you can always see how we can support you to make it easy for you. Yeah, I would like to give room for questions so I don't do all the talking. You can ask me question, you can ask Mary Ann, you can also ask Echiamaka. We can use the next few minutes for question before I hand over to your president.
Okay, thank you so much, Alicia. We really appreciate for this. So please, if you have any questions, okay, Shegun, you can.
Seven, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So for a student like me, though I'm a cybersecurity student, so I have my hands on the technical part, but not that depth. So I am good at rendering services online because I'm also a technician. So I find solutions to both software and hardware, diagnosing it virtually. So I'm asking, is there any role that fits in that? So I could analyze an error, then I'll find a solution to it. So I don't know if that's called a virtual assistant. I don't know, but if there's any role that interlinked to such something.
Yeah, so I don't really know much. I've not seen a lot of roles in cyber security. We have a lot of IT roles from full stack, whether front and back end. We have AI, we have data, we have a lot in digital marketing, designers, video editors. Then, of course, we have a lot of roles in virtual assistants, but also automation like GHL. So these are mostly the kind of roles that we have. Yes, we have game developer roles 100% with clients in the Asia. So these are some of the major roles that I see that we have at the moment. I've not seen anyone at the moment in cybersecurity. Yes, I've not seen that. Does that answer your question?
Yes. So I can apply for virtual assistants. But the virtual assistants I'm talking about is not even on the cybersecurity part. It's like what I mean is I'm a technician. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
fix
I'd say person.
yeah. So the virtual assistant is okay for that. So I don't know.
Yes. We are even recently recruiting for a virtual assistant role at the moment. Yeah, but it comes with a touch of a lot of tools that you might need to know, like Hopstraf. I think I posted it on the group chat on our community. That was a few days ago, and the deadline is on Monday. So if you have that IT skills, it helps a lot because in the US, if they say virtual assistant, it comes with a lot of like technical capacity. So I think you can fall in that category. Like for example, Echamaka is indirectly a virtual assistant for a job. Yeah. So it falls in that a category indirectly. Yeah.
All right. So how will I get those tools? Will I have to DM me directly or I'll go through the WhatsApp? I am not in the WhatsApp. I'm trying to sign up to the platform as well now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just join the WhatsApp group. I will also send a link to your president as well, so that you can be able to share with the community for those who are interested. Because I post jobs every day that are urgently hiring, and also we share content. But also, if you want to join the make cohort, you can also and try to sign up for the make cohort that will be happening by we start the deadline is to confirm is on the 15th. Yeah, and because you are coming from GDG, you can enjoy the discounts, so you don't pay the same amount we charge other people. Yeah. So this is the I posted the link for the WhatsApp group, but you can also feel free to check the chat box. I did send the link, and you want to join, you can also sign up on this QR code.
Yeah, thank you. I've joined. I've joined the WhatsApp
Yeah,
group. Thank you.
yeah, sure, sure. Any other question to Mary Ann or Jamaka or myself? Okay, I think my yeah, it's 25. Yeah, it's 25. I know you guys are students, so I try my best to support as well. All right, I think I'll hand over to the president now, Mr. Umar. It's just 1 month. It's only 1 month. I've been to Mimina, by the way. I think that was in 2017. I've, we don't really train to skill. You have to like upskill yourself. Like for example, Echamaka, she mentioned about she had to learn automation. Mary Ann had to learn design, digital marketing. Our training is more like to be job ready, not to do others technical skills. No, no, no. You have to be job ready. You have to have some potential. Exactly. Then we match you with the companies. Exactly. All right, Mr. President, over to you now. Thank you very much, Mary Ann and Jamaka, for just joining in as well.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Alicia and Marianne. Thank you very much for you guys joining and sharing. Okay, I think we'll have this will be the last question. Sherwin, you can go ahead and speak.
Like the link for the LinkedIn profile is actually taking us to another page. It's taking me to another page.
Okay, I saw some people already like added me on LinkedIn. You can also search, say my name. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I just send the link again. Jamaka, and you can also drop your LinkedIn profile so that people can also, connect with you and also, learn from you.
Okay, Sherwin, your last question, please. You are still raising your hand.
Yeah, no, I'm done, Action. Thank you.
Okay, all right, no problem. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate you taking your time and joining this call. So I will reach out to Mr. Alicia for any links that he's yet to share, and then I'll share it in our WhatsApp group there to join. So thank you so much, Mr. Alicia. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Really appreciate you taking your time. And this call has been recorded. So for those that are RSVP'd and registered, once we upload it on YouTube, we will attach the link and share it with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, Umar. It was really nice. I'm happy to support and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.